We are back. What is up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. We are the Omni X-Men doing our show once again. Season 2 officially kicking off. I know we had the kickoff show, but now we are doing the official breakdown of what is going to be issue 132. And so, of course, I am with my good friend and co-host, John from John's Comics with Kids. John, what is going on, man?
It feels so. We were talking backstage. I'm like, wait, do I need training wheels again? Do I know how to ride this bike? What's going on here?
Yeah, man. It's took some time off, and it was good to kind of close out the summer. Of course, that summer just flew right by. And if you guys missed the kickoff show that we did over on John's channel, because we were live last Tuesday at this time, we had a lot of fun breaking down just our love for X-Men. And showing some really funny highlights of the season.
And Justin's highlight reel is now on his Instagram. So if you wanted to watch it again, and I've watched it 3 times, but like if you want to watch it again, that's the place to go to check it out for sure.
Yeah, I was originally going to upload the original highlight reel. I'm like, no, I got to get our reactions to the highlight reels even better. So yeah, that was a good time. Definitely a good time if you guys did not see that. So, all right. So we are breaking down 132. If you guys are new to Omni X-Men, this is what it's all about. We take, I should have had this ready. As John has, the Omnibus, right? And, breaking down issues from this series. So if you guys have read Claremont before, or if you haven't, this is kind of where we're at. We're right in the middle of the Dark Phoenix saga, which is a great time to be joining in with us. So if you guys, want to catch up and jump right in, I think it started at 129 was when the kickoff of this was, and we're right smack dab in the middle. So we'll get into all that in just a moment. I will also just clarify and say that these episodes are going back and forth on John's channel and myself. So, and to confuse things even more, we're going to take next week off because I will be on vacation. So the following Tuesday, this show will be back over on John's channel. I just want to clarify that now. So you guys should sub him up if you don't already. I put his information in the description below. That would be helpful to make sure that you have his notification bell on so you know when we do go live on our Tuesdays at 9 o'clock. But we'll break down 133 over on his channel. Other than that, I see a lot of people in the chat right now. So I'll say a quick hello to the chat and then we'll get into the fun. Let's see. We got Ruben Guzman in the house. What's going on, Ruben? I'm starting to get used to the name now. White Tiger. I see the Cowabunga fam, so that's my cue.
It's a good reminder.
Yeah. Imagine it's not him. It's just someone else that happens to always say Cowabunga. I'm like, wow. Like,
they're scamming. They're scamming him.
Yeah. Stealing his identity. It's not good. We got Battle 66 Delta. What is going on? I'm sure X11 Bravo is around as well. Hope you're both doing well. I'm actually going to be in your neck of the woods next week. Maybe we'll have to get in touch here, but I'll be over in Vegas. So
nice.
But thanks so much for hanging out and watching the show. We got Fuzzy Dunlop hanging with us as well. He's from across the way. Appreciate you hanging out, man. It's got to be rather early or late for you over in Scotland. Something Wong also in the chat with us. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. We got Brandon from Comics Kings as well. I'm sure.
I don't know that guy.
Yeah, no. Sure, we'll have him on as a guest lined up here eventually. Good to see you, Brandon. Appreciate you. He says, "What's up, y'all? Who is an X-Men villain you want to see get a mini series and why?" Oh man,
it's a tricky one because I think X-Men universe always has those villains that are in the gray area. Right, characters like Mystique, characters like Magneto, characters like Apocalypse. I mean, Apocalypse is Ten of Swords miniseries, which is really is a really great villain miniseries.
I just started reading that again, by the way. I was halfway through. I'm trying to.
I loved the way they did Ten of Swords. I thought that was really a clever way to give Apocalypse a backstory that they never had done.
Nice. My first thing that comes to mind is Magneto, which I know they're doing the trial of Magneto, so maybe that already counts as answering your question there, Brandon. But either way, thanks for hanging out with us, man. We also got Eric Azores Tiger hanging out. What's going on, brother? I know we have Azores booked with us for a couple 3 different episodes as of right now, so looking forward to that as well. Let's see, just scrolling through, see some people having some conversations. Battle. Yeah, I don't know why X11, for whatever reason, X11 can't get into my chats. I don't know. I tried to look at like no one's blocked. I have no one blocked. I don't know. It's very confusing.
Battle Panda, you mean? This is Battle Panda.
This is Battle Panda, but X11 can't like, and he sent me pictures.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
he can't even leave a regular comment or nothing. I don't know. It's something we've been kind of looking into for a while now, but I have not discovered how to fix that. But I know he's always with me here in spirit. He's always watching, and he sends me a screenshot later on Instagram saying like I was here the whole time. Like, and he even tries to write things and say funny things, and it just doesn't come through for anybody. No one sees it.
That's crazy.
We got Ryan here, Magic Lasso in the house. What's going on, Ryan? I know we have him booked as well. Good to be back. Good to see you back here again. Looking forward to some more corny dad jokes as always. We got JP in the house, dissing my man John here.
Shaming me. We were only 3 minutes.
He's not wrong.
3, and it was me talking about new comics. So those were all my minutes. I agree.
We had a pre-show before the show of new comics. We got my man Albert in the house. What's going on, Albert? Good to see you, man. I just sent him our list, and I think he'll be joining us down the road here as well. And I just interviewed him this past Saturday, and I know he is a huge fan of specifically these omnibus. He's read I think he's on to the 3rd volume already. So.
I aspire to be a TikTok sensation like that.
There you go.
That's my goal in life. To be the next Albert Loves Comics.
Love it. We got Jennifer in the house. Comics will break your heart. What's going on, Jennifer? Thanks for hanging out with us. We got to get Jennifer on the show, John.
Absolutely. I try to get her on any show that I do. Yeah. So I'm down every time.
We got to make that happen. We got Coffee and a Comic also hanging out with us in the chat. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in as well. Unfortunately, no one bet the under, so house wins. Yeah, see, there you go. Let's see. We got my man Jason also hanging out with us. I know Jason is ready. He was just flipping through his issue 132 and tagged us in it. So I know he's pumped for it. He actually, he read it like last week. He's all on board. Jason, we got to get you on here too as well.
Definitely.
We got Travis TM Nerdy Station, brother.
Love your new logo, TM. I think it's really great, man.
Heck yeah, man. Yep. Very cool stuff. I just saw his recent like cribs, his YouTube crib show that he's been doing. I love it. I just started watching him. Really good stuff. Thanks for stopping in, Trav. All right, just scrolling through. I think I see. Oh, there he is, my man Chet.
Chet's here.
Nation, brother. Curious what grade and signatures he has of this particular issue. I know we'll get into the details here shortly with some of the specialties of this issue. The chat just jumped on me. Let's see, just scrolling through. We got my man Bill. What's going on, Bill? B Donovan in the house. Know him over on Instagram. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in as well. We got Alan hanging out. He says he'll be listening on the drive. Appreciate you, Alan. Drive safely. Chet smiling. Someone kicked a 66-yard field goal. Yep, John knows all about the field goal.
That was a really exciting 3-pointer. I was really enjoying the home run. It was great.
You actually were accurate when you said 3-pointer.
Oh, is that 3? Okay. It sounded like a good distance for it.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Chef RD Harris also hanging out with us. What's going on, Chef? Good to see you, man. Scrolling through, man. We got everybody's hanging out here, just having a chat here. I'm scrolling through still. We got Nick's Kicks and Comics. What's going on, Nick? Look at these two guys. He says, knowledgeable dudes right there. Appreciate you, Nick. Appreciate the kind words. Good to see you. Hey, we got Perry. Also, he's lurking. My man Perry with the pickle. Pickle Perry, as he says.
That horrible pickle emoji. I don't know what's going on
there. We got another regular of ours here, Jackson Roy Kirk in the house. What's going on, sir? Good to see you. Jennifer says let's do it. We'll send you the list.
Yeah.
I feel like this list is going around. Me and you got to make sure we're updating the same properly, because I feel like I added like 3 more without time.
Oh yeah, just let me know. I'm keeping a we should probably have a shared document.
We're making promises to people. Hey, we got Morbius in the house. What's going on, Morb? Just saw his show.
I was gonna say he was just live a bit ago.
Yeah, man. A lot of fire over there. But always a good time. Always fun stuff there.
I would love to join. I'm working so late these days. It's hard to get on anything before 9 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, man. Catch the replay, man. They were wild. Talking about CGC. It's good.
Nice.
Good fun entertainment. I wrote in the comment at one point, they were like debating back and forth, and I wrote in the comment, I said, "Where's all my digital people at?" And I put a little hand emoji.
And just cricket noise.
Yeah. Like silence. We got my man Tyler in the house. What's going on, Darth Timo? Hanging out with us. Good to see you, man. Darth, dude, we got to get you on here as well, man. if you're keeping up with us here. All right, so Chess is 9.2, Stanley, Black Ink, X-Men 132.
That sounds like that's a low grade for you. You gotta upgrade. Send that my way and get your 9.6. And
yeah, there you go. You could put John's name on it, but put my address on it, Chet. Yeah, Chet. Yeah, was it John talking football? I know, that's crazy. Yeah. It's a new world we're in.
Foosball.
Exactly. Hey, we got Steve in the chat. Also, what's going on, Hip Hops and me? Just saw him in Morb's chat earlier. We were chatting it up. He was one that agreed with me about my digital comment. He said that they're all 9.8s, my digitals. Right. True. Very true.
And just super sharp.
Yep. Don't got to deal with that. No drama there. Exactly. All right. I think we got everybody in the chat at the moment. Appreciate everybody. We got 19 people hanging out with us here for this Omni X-Men show. We appreciate all of you. Make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. And of course, follow John. I put his information in the description below. But let's get into this issue, man, because 132 packs a punch for sure. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this, John. So we'll kick it off before we get into the panels and everything that we'd like to show. But what were your initial thoughts and how would you grade this?
I think this whole saga is full of great storyline moments. But it does tend to ride the roller coaster of we got to rehash and explain everything that just happened, which is this era of comics. So you got to get over that a little bit because you do spend the first 3 pages of every issue almost looking back. Hey, what happened on the last issue? Yep. So that can get a little tiresome. And then there's always the into trouble, out of trouble, into trouble, out of trouble thing where some of that can be a little repetitive as well. I will say I've read this issue probably about as much as any individual issue of X-Men just because I had this classic X-Men book and I read it a ton and the art was so amazing. So I do really like this one. I think it's not as good as 131, which I think had a great sort of climactic, when you have all those female mutant characters kind of throwing down, it was so amazing. And this one seems like everybody gets their ass whooped pretty quickly. That was the only drawback for me. So I would give this probably an A-, let's give it a 9.0.
I think that's totally fair. Everything you said is valid. I definitely agree too. For me, I felt like I was really excited. The whole beginning was a lot of fun because I was trying to, yes, you are playing catch up in the beginning. We do get some flashback panels, which by the way, the flashback panels, I think might be up there as some of my favorite panels, which we'll go over when we get into it. Which I kind of laughed at because I'm like, well, they're flashback panels, but there's some beautiful artwork there still. That's John Byrne being John Byrne for you. But I think that I really like the setup, and you're right. They get their butts handed to them, and we'll get into those details. But I do think that ultimately I like the way it went, them arriving into this party and going undercover, kind of just wondering what's going on. And of course, They split the team up, so you got a couple different parties going on. Some take the high road wearing expensive clothes, while some take the grimy waters underneath.
You can guess probably. Who
Yeah. We'll get into those panels. But I think a 9.0 is fair. I think I'd give it a little higher, maybe a 9.2, 9.4. I did really enjoy the issue. And of course the artwork's always phenomenal. So so all right, let's get into the panels here that I put together, which was, it was nice to it was nice to have a little break, and not have to put these together. But it did remind me how fun these were to put together, and I had some fun. You guys will see. My gift game, I think, is on point tonight. So you guys let me know in the chat what you all think. Also, before we turn the page here, also just want to remind everybody too to stick around because we are going to do our trivia at the end of this. After we break down the pricing and the significance of the issue, we will go over just a couple questions that are based on last issue and last episode. So you had to be aware of both. So last episode, meaning the kickoff one that we just did last week, and then also questions based on last issue 131. So hang out with us while we do that as well. And if you guys aren't aware, we are doing a bunch of giveaways. We'll get into those details later, but that's going to be for the end of the season. So a lot of fun things to win, just like we did season 1. John, and I'm going back and forth here, so feel free if you see something in the chat and I can highlight.
Magic Lasso is mentioning that he's still disappointed that this Dark Phoenix saga has so few Jean Grey covers at this point, and I can definitely sympathize with that.
Oh yeah, good point. And actually, so I'll ask you, we'll talk about the cover first. As we do, John, what are your thoughts on this initial cover?
I mean, it's certainly very exciting to see our heroes kind of thrown so like haphazardly to the ground and so easily by this crew of characters. I think the cover is a little busy for me, so I'm not a huge fan of this cover. I don't know why. You got Shaw there just shirtless. He's just rocking out with no shirt. So it just seems a little odd to me. And for me, these are my least favorite characters in the Hellfire Club. Like I'm an Emma Frost fan, and obviously she's supposed to be missing from action for a while here after last time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I love Storm front and center. Obviously, she gets the main sort of portion of the cover.
Yep.
But yeah, the layout is not my favorite.
I totally agree there. I think it is a bit busy. The one thing I can appreciate of this cover is the fact that, and I know we talk about this in past episodes, but I appreciate that this actually takes place in the actual, book. So I know we've had some covers that really had no business being the cover to, to the issue, but this one definitely ties in, and giving a different angle to what we're seeing here, or to what actually happened. So I do appreciate that aspect of it, but I agree it definitely is a bit loud. A lot of things going on, but again, I always say too, would this get my attention if I'm walking, into a comic book shop for the first time and this thing was coming out? And I think I would just be confused.
Yeah, I would say this one wouldn't make me like, "Ooh, I got to get this."
Right. It might be more of.
I'm a Storm fan, so I might be like, "Hey, what happened to Storm?" That would be my only question. And you have all these weird guys, the 4 guys in the background.
Yeah, like who are these guys? Yeah,
really, really bizarre.
Agreed. Hey, we got Johnny Funko in the house. What's going on, Johnny? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. All right, well, let's dive into some of these panels here. We kick it off with this guy flying in out of nowhere. And for those who are maybe brand new to X-Men or have not really read much up until now, you might be asking, who the hell is this guy? And this is where we get to see Angel, aka Warren Worthington III, kind of dropping in. He's got his little tennis shoes on, high socks. The style. The guy's got the style.
Who we really haven't seen in these issues for a really long time. I mean, he was he had the robot version in issue 100, right?
Right.
And then we read that, or I should say, Chet recommended that issue where he went and fought the Sentinels with the Hulk, which I believe was a Hulk issue, if I'm not mistaken, or a team up issue. I can't remember what the actual. I bought it, and I don't remember what it was. I'm sorry, Chet. I've failed you.
He's freaking out right now.
He's like, "Come on, John."
Yeah,
but we really haven't seen him in the main story in a very long time. So I totally get what you're saying. Hulk Annual 7, there it was. It would be strange to be a reader of this and not maybe know who this character is, and all of a sudden he's like so prominently displayed in his first few pages.
Yeah. Like seeing this is just like, this seems to be his issue with the way he's flying in here. But yeah, so we essentially, gather that he's dropping in for the first time. They are good friends, or they've known each other for a long time. Obviously, him and Cyclops have worked together for quite some time. Right. And he's just they're at his place. So the team had left. The last time that we had seen everything going down was this huge battle, and that's kind of what we get into here with the breakdown of some of these things. But let me just, who the Farouk does this guy think he is? John, this really had taken me by surprise when I first read this, and seeing this panel was just like I was looking like Sir Charles here, hello.
I can see your halo. I mean, he's smoking hot, super tall, got the golden locks, got a ton of money, a huge place, and his power makes him an angel to the ladies. Like, this guy's a player, right?
So he just goes what is Cyclops doing right now?
And he's got his hot girlfriend directly behind him, and she's just kind of like, oh goodness.
Yep.
Boys will be boys, kind of a thing going.
Yeah, man. I'm surprised nothing happened there. I mean, Cyclops like strictly business, he's just like, oh yeah, take me somewhere. We need to.
That's exactly how I greet my best friend's wife, by the way, whenever they come over to my place. So when Justin comes over, he's going to be very different than that double date with Morbius.
Well, it would be Morbius I'm bringing with me. So
Oh, well, he's the one that I kissed.
It's hilarious.
Was it Chet says, if I ever kissed any of my friends' girlfriends that way.
Yeah, right. Want to say a quick hello to Mastodon. What's going on, Don? Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in as well. Ryan says page 1, bring on the pretty boy. Yep, exactly. Let's see. He's blonde, rich, and he has swagger. Yeah, I mean, pretty much checks all the box for sure.
Right.
Well, let's see. Basically they land, they shake hands, they kiss, and then Cyclops immediately just first, he introduces his girlfriend Candy Southern. I don't know if that's her first appearance or not, but
phenomenal stripper name.
Yeah. And then immediately they're off. Cyclops asks, "Look, we got to talk. I need some privacy." And boy, does he give him privacy. Literally flies him, I think they said miles away from everything else here. Meanwhile, we see some concern with Xavier, who is kind of just questioning what is going on. Why is Cyclops doing what he's doing? Why did we come here, not go back to the mansion? And he's not happy. He's annoyed, if anything, and just feeling like there's no good communication between the two, or at least he doesn't have the understanding correctly of what Cyclops is trying to do here.
There's a lot of trust issue problems kind of happening right now, because ever since Xavier came back, he's been trying to lead the X-Men his way, but Scott's been telling him this is a different team. They're older than the team that you had before. They've been living and working on their own longer than us. They have their own rhythm. They have their own way. And you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. And Cyclops has been leading them without Xavier for so long that he's got his own methods. They also seem to have some kind of a spy in their midst feeding this Hellfire Club information about them. So Cyclops is not trusting anybody, and he's going way outside the box and saying, you know what, I'm going to go with somebody I can trust, Warren, and I'm going to raise these doubts.
Yep. By the way, Morbius said he'll pass. So, oof.
I didn't say tongue. I'm just
so just a bro kiss, bro kiss.
Yeah, right. Very normal.
Don't make it weird, Morbius. He brings them all the way out onto this cliff. They start to have this conversation, and then of course this is where we get the flashbacks. Right. And I did want to blow these up because some of the panels on the right, I mean, when we see Jean Grey and Emma going at it, and you see this Phoenix foot and everything blown up the way it is, I know we get something similar to that in the previous issue, but that just looks so cool. And then the other thing I wanted to highlight for this particular flashback section is, I know we've talked about this in the past too, but I always appreciate John Byrne drawing Cyclops with like a close-up like face, seeing his glasses or his visor. Like it's just always so well done, something about it, No,
I agree. And I think he gets a lot more sort of 3D out of it. Like the way he just really gives it another dimension that I think is really fantastic.
Yep, exactly. That's really all I want to highlight with the flashback. Obviously, go read 131 if you haven't already, but that's, I think they do sum it up fairly decent here with just a few panels. I don't think it takes too many pages up.
No. What's up? Read your comics. Hello.
We got Daryl in the house. Hey, what's going on, Daryl? What's going on? At least Professor X didn't read Sykes' mind. Yeah. So was that just by choice there, or out of respect, or because he could, right?
It's hard to say. Yeah, exactly. But there's definitely some trust issues going on, and and Cyclops doesn't even know if it's Professor X who's the problem. Clearly, there's two very powerful telepaths in this group, and he doesn't seem to go to either one of them for help.
Right. Bigger control freak, JP asked Xavier or Scott.
Xavier, and he wins the bigger douchebag. He wins the bigger. I mean, the guy wins everything.
There's a lot of awards that go around.
There's a lot. Yeah. But that's a pretty extreme scale, in my opinion. If Cyclops is like an 8 out of 10 douche, Xavier's the guy who wants to turn it to 11. He's like, let's go. This thing goes all the way to 11.
Crank that dial just a little further. Yeah. Oh man. All right. So we get the flashback, and then it gets interrupted with this bit of a romance love scene. I think they just kind of want to remind us that, there is this connection still going on and all this other stuff with Jean. So Jean comes flying in, says, "Excuse me, fellas, but need time for a break." So of course,
I love the sunset colors, by the way, in this whole sequence. If you look that first one right here next to me, but then across when they're making out, even in the background, you get a great striation of color. That's a really well done. Some of the previous pages, the background sky is just white. Yeah, but here they give you this incredible vision of color.
Yeah, no, great point. And this was an interesting scene here because, well, one, I mean, so Jean still has this like fiery confidence in her that I think is really still taking Cyclops by surprise almost. And it goes as far as to say, she's taken off his visor and telling him it's okay to open his eyes. And he's like terrified, like, what are you doing? You know what's going to happen. But then he sees how powerful she is. And this is not the first time, right? We've seen him see that power come from her in several issues now. And so, with this buildup, this is just another way for Claremont to remind everybody of just how powerful she currently is right now and what she has going on.
The transition here is a little clunky from like deep, heavy espionage talk to peace, I'm out, let's get naked. And she's like in a bikini and they're already making out. It was like, okay, this is a little abrupt. But I think they're also diving into this sort of polar side of what Jean's going through, where she has this sort of almost like split personality thing happening.
Yeah. Yep.
So I could appreciate it on that level, even though story wise, it's pretty abrupt.
Yeah. At least they're keeping the consistency of showing her ability to change clothes, right? Like I know we've had that conversation now a few times, right? Where we're seeing that. So there she is doing it again. Albert says, yeah, that looks like a romance comic panel for sure.
Definitely.
And I agree with Steve. If you're gonna make out, you need a sunset. I totally agree there. You can't do it without a sunset. Let's see. Appreciate everybody hanging right now. All right, so we'll jump right in. So it kind of quick. Now we jump all the way to the other side, where we see. Where's this? This is New Mexico. The New Mexico deserts is where they were.
This kind of bugs me. And it was basically like, not only did we jump to a totally different place, but time has passed. Like a huge chunk of time has passed and we're in a totally different place. I feel like this issue does suffer a little bit from like these jump cuts, these abrupt, like, hey, I think we have a problem. And then jumping all the way to, we've got a plan in motion and we're breaking into this facility. It's like, wait, weren't we just trying to figure out what's wrong? And now we're like, we've got a plan and we've worked it out and we're like in action now. So it's a little bit abrupt for me, although I love again the artwork, the lighting in this underground sequence, and the storm for what's happening in New York City. I dig all of that, but it's like, whoa, this is fast.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I see it says a week passes. I wonder if like there were pages in the initial creation of this, or any other thought or plan that either Claremont or John Byrne had in mind while putting this whole thing together. But you make a great point. I think I kind of brushed over that aspect of it, but you pointing that out, it is a bit jarring to just think that they were all together and nothing really got resolved other than the love scene, and that was
caught
it.
up the reader is really what we needed, right?
Right. Yeah. Love the sewer panels. Bill says, yeah, these are really cool. I think that, looking here on the left, just like some of the ways that they show the flashlight or the lighting in general, the shadows that Nightcrawler creates as he's, hanging from upside down. And then just even at the bottom here. So we get this kind of not random scene, but just, these two are under in the sewers, obviously. And as they see these cables, I was totally going to make a cable joke here, but I just didn't have enough room for it. So I passed along, but I was going to say this is the first time we get a mention of the mutant cable, but
chops him up
and then he cuts him up. Yeah. So, of course, that's going to leave a little hint to something down the road, but Wolverine thinks it's a good idea as the sewer continues to kind of rise a little bit. He thinks it's a good idea to slash these cables open for a plan down the road. Or he says that they could come in handy, as he quotes there. But yeah, so meanwhile we're getting caught up even more so now that they're underground, and they report back to Cyclops, telling that all is good. Cyclops saying Roger, and now they have a plan to basically they're going into the actual Hellfire Club,
yeah,
and they get their invite, the hookup, thanks to Angel here.
We learned that Angel is a part of the Hellfire Club, or at least a member, and had been to an event and didn't feel very comfortable at the event, but was definitely in that circle in some way. And you joked before we went live that, like, of course you could kind of guess like who would be sent on the underground sewer mission, right, and who would go to the fancy ball in outfits.
Yeah.
They didn't send any of the pretty ladies down below in the sewers. I'm just saying.
Nope. And if I'm sure they initially asked Wolverine, but Wolverine said he wanted to wear a cowboy hat, and they were like, all right, forget it, you're going down.
No line dancing.
Yeah. So and again, just kind of seeing a little more concern here with Xavier, as he's just worried that there's nothing he can do, or that he's powerless, essentially, especially if something were to go wrong. But that is kind of always the situation, right? I mean, if he's back at the mansion, or if he's back at Warren's place or wherever, like, he could still kind of say that same thing either way, right? I mean, I guess having a little more preparation is always more comforting, but he's still like far away, essentially.
And if he was, I mean, he clearly, there was time like to travel with them and be at least across the street, using the psychic whatever, but he's apparently, they just didn't give him an invite. He didn't get to go.
Yeah, he had a whole week passes. Come on.
Pathetic.
So all right, so yeah, party time. I like this little bit here on the left where we kind of get the idea of the fact that they're wearing some really expensive clothes,
but like also very like throwback. It seems like everybody is in on the fact that the Hellfire Gala expects you to dress like your plantation owners from the slave era. Like nobody dresses in like 70s clothes either. Like these are everybody seems to be into the role play of whatever this is. No, I know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there was a memo that went out. Everybody got the info.
I'm wondering if like a part of that was the big scheme of Mastermind, or of
Wingard,
Jason Wingard, as he's been slowly throwing Jean's mind in the mix with that whole scenery, that flashback type stuff. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, or I don't know. The other side of it is, even when we first meet the Hellfire Club, they're dressed like this. So I guess, I don't know, maybe that's just their style, or they're bringing it back. Maybe they're just bringing it back down. But let's see. So hey, I saw we have Dave Enrique in the chat. What's going on, Dave? He says, I just jumped in. Did you guys talk about how Byrne drew the Hellfire Club based on famous actors of the time? John, this should be up your alley.
Yeah, and we discussed this a little bit last time, how Sebastian Shaw was based on actor Robert Shaw, how Harry Leland was based on Harry Lime from The Third Man, which is an Orson Welles character, and Donald Pierce was based on Donald Sutherland, who had just played Hawkeye Pierce in MASH, the movie MASH. So yeah, we mentioned that when they appeared in a previous episode, but it's totally worth mentioning again. So definitely shout out to you, brother, for bringing that up.
Yeah, good call there, Dave. We also had Verno in the chat. What's going on, Verno? Good to see you, man.
What's up?
Heck yeah. Jackson Roy Kirk says, great undercover, Scott. Yeah, I have a pair of Ruby Quartz glasses too. Yeah. So basically they're going in undercover. They're all dressed up here and trying to get in to see what kind of information they can get. I don't
want to slow us down too much. I'm sorry, but like Chet says a great comment that makes me think of a TV series I've been watching. He says the Hellfire Club was around in the 1800s, I believe. Maybe the garb was based on the time that it was formed. And I've been watching the vampire comedy show, Something in the Dark, Things We Do in the Dark, the ones we are, what's it called? In the Shadows. Sorry. God dang it. Somebody's going to help me with this. It's a Hulu channel show about it's like The Office, but with vampires. Like it's a comedy docu show. And I'm mixing it up with that horrible that other. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry right now. This is what happens when John works like 10-hour days and then comes and does a show. The Things We Do in Shadows, which I'm mixing up with The Me You Love in the Dark. I'm like,
what
my
we
head
do
is
in
like putting these.
What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows is there's an episode where the vampires go to a club in the 2000s. And they think that the club is still asking you to wear the clothes you wore in the 1800s, and they look ridiculous at this club wearing the. And that's how your comment feels to me, Chet. Like people show up to this in the 70s, and they're still having to wear their clothes from the 1800s. Like the club hasn't updated their like allowance of what you're allowed to wear to their events. Everybody has to wear the garb. That episode of What We Do in the Shadows is hilarious because they show up and they're in these outfits with the ruffles and everything, but everybody's just wearing like 2000s clothes. It's like, what are you guys wearing?
I've never seen the show. I'm not familiar with it, but yeah.
For those who watch the show, they're all like, "Oh yeah, that's really funny."
Yeah. Hey, we got my man Rod in the house. What's going on? Just so we can end his comics and also Spiders comics also hanging out with us here. Says he's learning a lot. I am too, man. I am too. I saw Trails of Blazing also hanging out with us. Thanks for chiming in here too. Aggressively Relaxing also in the chat. What we doing? Yeah.
At least I brought it up. Like I didn't just skip over it. Yeah.
Right.
People usually say that about me a lot. Yeah.
All right. So we do get to see like this little glimpse here of or the introduction really to the rest of the crew where Pierce is bringing Cyclops in or Scott dressed up as he is and Jean, but they clearly recognize who these two are,
which is it's 2 episodes or 2 issues in a row where we have this elaborate trick to try to trick the Hellfire Club that is a failure from the start. Yeah, and like doesn't work at all. Remember, they pulled up in the limo at the Frost thing, and they were like pretending that they were Hellfire employees that had captured Kitty, and then all of a sudden, Cyclops just blasts the roof off the limo, and they just bum rush these guys.
Yeah,
like what is the point of that cover plan? And then this one, it's within seconds, and they're sussed out, like done.
Yep, they're on the big screen.
Like, I love this plan just falls apart in the first 10 seconds.
Yep. And we get introduced to the rest of the crew here. Shaw, Leland, and Wingard, who we already knew Shaw to a degree, and Wingard, but Leland we didn't know much of, so he was a little bit of a getting to know. But yeah, I mean, they all seem pretty comfortable, pretty ready, and basically in this scene here is just Wingard threatening, or I'm sorry, Shaw threatening Jason Wingard, saying basically that your plan better work out here. And if all things, work the way they should, then we'll have your plan of using Jean Grey to lead the attack on the X-Men.
Right.
But he like kind of threatens him, and we've seen that before, and it's just interesting that like they're all bad guys, right? So like at the end of the day, I guess it makes sense. Bad guys should be rude or bad to each other, but he just always was like threatening Jason Wingard. He's like, "Yeah, is your plan ready?" And Jason's like, "Yeah, my plan's ready. Is your plan ready?" Like, "Yeah, don't worry about my plan."
It's kind of Shaw's note, anyways. Like even to this day in the Marauders series, he's always playing that note. He's just like the piano player from Eyes Wide Shut. Bing, bing. Like there's that one note that the guy. That's all his job. I just played this note. This is my note. Nobody plays this note but me. And so Shaw has always been like that. He seems like he's got devious plans in the background, and he's always complaining about everybody else's plans.
Man, oh man. Hey, we got Uncanny Swag in the house. What's going on, Swag? Good to see you. We also got Dan De La Torre hanging out with us. Yo. He says, I see you have a Tony Sanders alum on tonight. Oh yeah, this guy. Yep.
The king is here.
Yep.
What's up, Dan?
Yeah, good to see you, Dan. Thanks for hanging out. We had 25 people with us right now, so appreciate all you guys in the chat right now.
I totally agree, Jackson Roy Kirk, and I had the same thought. This is like 2 sneaky plans in a row that for some reason Nightcrawler's not using the dang image inducer. Like, what is the deal? You have the perfect technology for this. No, we're gonna send him in the sewers. You get in the sewers, man.
Yeah, I mean, technically,
the elf and the midget are going in the sewers.
Technically, couldn't they all use the image inducer?
Call Tony. He can hook you up with a whole set of them, right?
Yeah. All right, so we get some finger pointing here, and then some things go down. So basically, Jean and Scott are dancing. They're just playing it cool. Let's just fit in. And then out of nowhere, Jason steps up to bat, and he just swipes her away. Out of nowhere, yeah. And this is where his abilities come in, right? Where she literally, as they kind of describe here, like her mind just goes and vanishes right into the old scene that we saw from previous issues, where they're now married. And she's, head over heels in love. And Cyclops just looks like this random dude behind her. She has no idea who this guy is, Meanwhile, Cyclops is like that's odd. She just falls right back in love with him. What's going on?
Twice in one issue, he's had somebody sweep his girlfriend off his feet, and he's just left going, "Oh man,
why did he have a problem with it this time around? He certainly didn't have a problem with it the first time around. He was way too busy.
He trusts Warren too much.
I guess
that's why.
He's like, well, he's an angel, so I'm not worried about him. Yeah, Jackson says they had a week to prepare. Yeah, very true. Yeah, chat, good point. 25 peeps in the chat, man. Starving Omni fans. Yeah, we've all been waiting for this, man.
Love Jean's dress with the giant diamond missing right in the center. She's going fancy there.
Oh yeah,
the black dress, not the Jason Wingard fantasy dress, but the black dress, which is a fantasy dress.
Yep. So yeah, Scott kind of starts to figure things out here, and that's when you see him shout "Mastermind" as he figures it out. And you see at that bottom right hand or those
center
panels,
picture,
that center, you see like his true like face, I guess.
For some reason, his guard went down, or Cyclops could see through the illusion, or I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, like just for a second, it's like he snapped out of it.
Scott knows who's really behind all this,
right? But is it too late, John? Is it too late? Now he runs up these stairs, which, by the way, I feel like we get that a lot. I just think of some of those other episodes where Scott's chasing bad guys upstairs. So here he gets blasted in the face. Too late, Cyclops. Boom, splow, as it says. Yeah,
splow.
Hello. Told you, man. GIF game was on tonight. GIF game was on. This is one of my favorite scenes too. But yeah, so love how she's all dressed up. Smoke is coming from her hand. She is standing over Cyclops, who is just like burnt to a crisp right now. I'm sure that suit he was wearing is very expensive, but yeah, and Jason's like, yes, all Dr. Evil like. But I thought this was a dope panel. I thought it was really cool to see them kind of lean into this.
You put a gorgeous woman in lingerie and shoot from down low, you're going to come up with something special.
Yeah,
you got all the pieces in something magical.
Yep. Agreed, guys. Agreed. So moving into these next few bits here, this is where all the action happens. I kind of threw a lot of this on one panel here, but just to kind of see, I love just seeing the reactions of Colossus and Storm immediately. They're just like, hey, we hear this scream,
time to get into action.
Yeah, they immediately jump in. Love that panel on the left. They suit up immediately. Colossus just turning solid, and then they just see this like old man with no shirt on upstairs. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know how I'd be feeling if I ran up and just like, sorry, like wrong room.
It's Shaw. What are you gonna do?
Right.
And I will legitimately say his powers don't make sense to me.
Yeah, I was confused with that.
I think it's cool, and I think it's cool how he turns the tables. I still can't the scientist in me is like, if he can absorb physical energy, like, how does that even work? Doesn't the punch actually land? He's not a wall. Like, I just don't. Right. It is way too abstract. I think a concept that all physical energy is just absorbed.
Yeah,
it's Chet says he loves his power. I think the power is incredibly ambiguous and can be used kind of any way you want. Because sometimes you hit him and he gets knocked back, and other times he gets hit and nothing really happens. Like, yeah. I think it's too ambiguous of a power. I know it's absorption. But it's like, at what level? Like, it's very ambiguous, but it is a cool concept,
right?
Because truthfully, Bishop has a similar power structure. He absorbs energy, and that way, sometimes energy knocks Bishop down, and other times he seems to just stand there and take it. I feel like it can be very abstract.
What if he falls off a cliff?
Does he just absorb the ground?
He becomes very still, and
he gets hit by a wave in the ocean. Does he just like take? He'd say, "I take that. I get that." Yeah, it's very odd. It's a very odd energy because you see him. He gets kicked by Colossus.
Yeah,
and he totally gets taken down.
Yeah.
But then he gets hit by Colossus in a straight punch, and he's just like, "I'll stand there."
Yep.
No, I love Bishop's power, but Bishop's power makes more sense to me because energy like that, like an electrical blast, can be absorbed in a way like by some materials on Earth can absorb an electrical blast, but a physical blow, you gotta like he gets hit by an asteroid, he just absorbs it. Right. Like it's too abstract for me. I think
there's a lot of questions for it. Yeah. Well, and here in these panels, like just kind of feels inconsistent, like you're saying, like just like why did it work here? Why did it not work here? Or vice versa. Hey, we got Desired Comics in the house. What's going on, Nige? Good to see you, man.
Ooh, yeah, Trailblazing. What if Bishop versus Shaw? Let's just see it. Well, who can absorb the most? It seems like just keep hitting each other, just keep blasting each other.
Right.
Stop hitting yourself.
So Colossus throws that first punch and just kind of bounces off him, and then he gets tossed by Shaw. And Shaw's like this ninja, like just kind of like he's strong, but then he like jumps and leaps at randomly.
He's a bare-chested boxer, bare-chested wrestler.
Yeah. And then the whole thing so Storm's like starting to figure it out here, and she's like, okay, well, let me like try a different angle or different like way to go at taking him out if he's going to take my powers, I guess, or so she uses the fog, right? Tries to fog up the room a little bit, but then she like tries to actually like attack him. Oh, I guess that's a little bit later. Maybe I'm jumping a little ahead. So elsewhere during that other fight scene,
now back to the sewers.
Yeah. So we get these two still just making their way in. And Nightcrawler gets greeted by what's his name? Pierce.
This is Pierce. Yeah. And I will say I loved this bit when I read this the first time as a kid. The fact that he grabs Nightcrawler and then Wolverine just comes in and just slashes that arm. I love that image. And the idea that it's then revealed to be robotic underneath, a cyborg. I thought that was a cool reveal and well done, because Wolverine's just like, oh, I'll just take this guy's arm off, but he doesn't cut nearly hard or deep enough to accomplish that because he wasn't expecting it to be made of inanimate material. I love that.
Yeah, and like we still never really get to see Wolverine go at it with like human flesh, still. No. And
they always put it off screen, right? Like people, it's like, oh dang, he did that.
Yeah. Still one of my favorite scenes is when we see Storm. Good. She's just like, oh, like looking at
Nightcrawler, just like gonna throw up or something.
It's the one time. Yeah. So but even then, like he's Donald Pierce is a cyborg, and he just throws Wolverine into these boxes here. Really cool concept. Yeah, I didn't know anything about this character. I mean, I don't know if this was like his very first appearance or not, and I should know this because I put this whole thing together, but I forget if this was like his first appearance, but I didn't know anything about Pierce. I didn't know if anything else about him.
I think they say that the Hellfire was in cameo before this. It's tricky to say, but
nothing
I mean, this is definitely a fuller appearance, you could argue.
Got it. Good point there, JP. I love the third person announcement. Donald Pierce is a cyborg. Yeah, the way he's shouting.
Donald Pierce is a cyborg.
Yeah.
I mean, I am a cyborg. I meant me. You know, I'm talking about me, right?
Daryl's talking about off panel. Too much for the code at that time. Yep.
And as this book tells us, this is the winner of 5 Eagle Awards. That's right there on the cover of this book.
This, John, was a heavy scene. I'll say that really excited for this panel. So we get Wolverine here, like a nice zoom in, him and the claws as he's just
like, oh, this guy's going down. He's gonna carve this fat boy up fast.
Yeah, he's like so excited, like to really just go at it with all these guys. And we didn't know anything about this guy, Leland, Harry Leland. Yeah. The name is Leland, Harry Leland, he says. And challenge is accepted, dear boy, stop you I shall. Interesting way that he speaks as well. But yeah, he quickly realizes in that middle panel that he's getting heavier and heavier, and that is in fact Leland's ability is to be able to add mass. I think just either add or subtract mass to anything that he is like near or close to. And so that's why we're seeing Wolverine just go clashing through all these levels of the floors beneath him on that right hand panel there.
And that panel is one of my faves. Like just the visual of like carving the building, and so you can see all the layers. So cool.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Alan's back. Alan. Chet says Tubby. Yep. Heavier than the black hole. Yeah. So this is kind of the last we see of Wolverine for a little bit, anyways, where it's taken off by the waters down below. And then meanwhile, this is where I was like starting to get ahead of myself, but this is where Storm figures out, okay, like I'm not gonna use my powers. Let me try a different angle at taking Shaw out. And man, it did not work out. It did not work out. And this was kind of brutal, man. I mean, so she's like attacking, trying to kick him in the face essentially. And he just catches her foot and kind of laughs at everything. I mean, he does take a shot to the face for like a second, but it really didn't do anything. And it just pissed him off.
Which both of the times we've actually made contact and done some, I don't know, damage was like a kick to this guy's head, which clearly is the move. You got to do that move. That's the move.
Right. That's the only thing that works.
But if Colossus can punch this guy with like a portion of his strength and the guy stands there, but she kicks him with her high heels and he's like, ooh, I don't know. Although it's confusing.
We don't know the details of what type of high heels she has on, John. So
she's got the super heels.
They could be.
I will say what I thought of with this scene instantly is Edna mode. No capes. No capes. This is an example of why no capes. She was getting away with beating the crap out of this guy. Then he grabs a hold of her cape and pulls her to the ground. And then it's done.
Right.
No capes.
Yep. Go capeless from here on out. So yeah, this bottom scene's like brutal. Like she's in a lot of pain and he's just having a good old time. As you can see the smirk on his face. And then it's just like this vicious blow that he just knocks her out completely.
By Crom.
Yeah. What a what a sound.
Conan would be proud, right?
Right. Yeah, just knocks her out and immediately just starts dragging her into the other room and even says like almost forgot how good that felt, exercising his mutant abilities. He's in heaven right now. He's loving everything that he just did.
Nothing like beating up women.
Yeah,
it feels good. I forgot how good that felt.
Yeah, pretty much. It's terrible.
Her headdress always stays put because that's where she keeps like her lock picking stuff. She has all her like thieving.
That's right.
Stuff in her headdress.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotta make sure that's on tight.
Agreed. Should have kicked faster. Yeah. Added a little more speed there, Jason. And then so we kind of get towards the end of the issue here, and this is just evil people doing evil things, right?
So
this is every scene that the collective get together.
Frau Farbissina.
Yeah.
So I mean it's spot on because this is that era of like Bond villains that would, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Yeah.
And they're gonna strap him to a table and then leave and just see what happens.
Yeah.
Very, very apt gif there. Well played.
And that scene is like the one where it goes a little too long. Like they start to get quieter. They're like, like they just kind of run out of steam.
Awkward. Yeah.
Then they all go back to work. Yeah, that's what I pictured here. So this is the scene also that we were referring to from the cover where he's kind of just tossing Storm after she's completely knocked out. It's just like a ragdoll. Yeah. As you see everybody else just laying there and they're all cheersing, to the Black Queen here. And of course, Jason basically, I mean, so now the one little thing here on the side is that they're starting to see that like Shaw's thinking in his own head, like, hey, like, maybe Jason's a little bit more dangerous than I had initially kind of considered. I got to make sure to be careful on what he does next. Yeah. You see some of these thoughts. And meanwhile, Jason's kind of like bickering with Pierce.
There's a lot of infighting going on here. There are seams that are splitting here at this group.
Which makes me wonder how they've like gotten along this whole time to begin with, because that's all we've seen is them kind of go at it, throw little jabs at each other and doubt each other's plans, essentially. So, but yeah, so that was just something to kind of raise awareness to as we kind of get to the end of this here.
And they really don't explain I think they say something real quickly. They toss off the idea that Pierce has fixed his arm. I feel like that frustrated me. Like,
oh yeah.
I want to either see how they fix this guy's arm in like mere minutes from a like serious Wolverine slash that seemed to tear up that guy's arm. It seems he's like, oh, it's all better now. That's all good. Don't worry, I'm fine. It was just a scratch, easily repaired, and that's it. So that next issue, they don't have to worry about drawing it with the scratches. Like, I think you keep it. Keep the scratches. It looks cool.
That would have just set me up for a really good, just a flesh wound gift. Damn it.
Right?
I can't believe I missed that. I love Alan's raise a glass to freedom.
Love it.
Yeah, we are lovers of Hamilton here for sure.
Yes, indeed.
So basically they're all cheersing and they develop their plan. But yet we close out with this incredibly awesome closing panel here. Good. I thought I'd just throw this GIF in, even though it's technically completely different. But
no, but it's that idea. Like, well, you don't count him out. Don't count him out. You know, it was the wrong guy to drop into the sewer and like, oh, well, he's dead. He's probably dead.
Yep.
That guy. I mean, it was Banshee. You're probably safe, but you drop Wolverine down there.
Yeah, it's such a
Jen is furiously typing right now.
Well, yeah.
How dare you talk about Banshee?
I just love like kind of how they did that to make you. Just as like from a reader standpoint, you forget about Wolverine and now you're back. Wolverine's by himself and you're just left wondering, as it's called, Wolverine All Alone, like what is he going to do now? Clearly he's pissed, and that's the general rule. You don't piss Wolverine off. So something good is going to happen, or something, I guess I should say bad, is going down next issue. And not bad for him.
This issue in the classic X-Men form and getting to that page and saying, I need to read the next issue. That's awesome. I want to know what's going on next.
Total cliffhanger, and everybody agrees here. Loving the panel here.
I love the Lasso says, John, people can build portals in 9 minutes. The cyber arm seems like a 90-second fix. It's very fair.
Got a great point.
if it was the same guy, but I don't know. Maybe everybody's got that skill.
Yeah. Dan had pointed out here, similar to the X-Men 4, where the first evil mutants spent half their time fighting, bickering with each other. Yeah,
I mean, they were supposed to be the Brotherhood of evil mutants, but whatever.
Yeah, it didn't work out. Albert, literally one of the greatest panels of all time. Yeah, man, definitely iconic. I think, as you said, John, like really leaves you just like, I need more. I absolutely need more now.
Well said.
Agree with everybody here. Appreciate
everybody. By the way, it's issue 133 with one of the all-time great Wolverine covers. Like, I think that I'm excited to talk about that issue and that cover because it's right here. It's so beautiful, but like just an absolute banger of a cover. And so we go from that like jump all around episode to like now we're going to get into this one issue where Wolverine gets to be Wolverine. He's the best at what he does. It's just not pretty.
Yep.
I said it wrong, but whatever.
Yeah.
Ignore it. Keep walking.
We'll add that to the highlight reel.
Right.
For the next season, John. Spiders Comics says, can you imagine how excited it would have been back then to be waiting for 133? Like, what is going to happen next? Especially Wolverine being, just a favorite of a lot of everybody. Definitely exciting times for sure. And we're gonna have Chet next week, so that'll be a cool addition as well.
In 2 weeks from tonight. Sorry, 2 weeks. I think it's the 15th.
Yes, good call. Hey, we got Rage and Cajun Comics in the house. What's going on, JD, man? Good to see you. All right, so we kind of wrapped it up. I know this also was you mentioned you listed as one of your favorite panels here, John. Obviously for good reason.
I mean, Chet mentioned it. It's got the shadows, the lighting is great, the water, the sewer murkiness, like everything about it. Like, and then of course the expression on his face, the idea that they covered part of his face in shadow so that he could say these things, and you're like, oh, bring it on.
Yep. He is pissed. So I think I go right into after this, I just go right into some of the numbers and stuff. Any other final thoughts in general about this before we jump into it?
No, I think we hit all the notes. Somewhat cool. Of a it feels like a choppy issue in general, but some really cool story beats for sure.
What's that? Some really good gifts. Is that what you? Thank you.
That's that too.
All right, so we're jumping into the numbers now, guys. So continue to stay with us, and we do have some trivia coming up that we'll hit up here shortly. So be ready for that as well. So here are some of the numbers, and this is me being lazy and just taking a screenshot from the Key Collector app. Well, yeah, right. Whatever gets it done. So it is listed as the first full appearance of the Hellfire Club, first full appearance of Black Bishop Harry Leland, and first appearance of White Bishop Donald Pierce. Also, first appearance of Tessa, later becomes Sage, which I did not realize that.
I think she was the one. Somebody in the chat was mentioning his assistant, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When he's putting his shirt back on. But yeah, so this was where is my, did I get my numbers here right? Oh, so yeah, so 177 in a 9.8, whereas there's 438 out there that are 9.6. So a bit of a jump there. And then, but price wise, a 9.8 sold back in July for $350 for this book. And then a little more than half for a 9.6 and $130. So it's nowhere near what we were talking about in some of the previous like key issues.
Yeah, a little more than doubling that price.
Yeah,
which we've mentioned. If you've watched previous episodes, some of these have huge multipliers. So a 2.5 multiplier is not as shocking as some of the ones we've seen for sure. And even a $350 9.8 for an X-Men Claremont issue still seems like a real low price, but this does not necessarily, especially with all these firsts full appearances.
No, it's a great point. And the fact that it's part of the Dark Phoenix saga. I mean, this is one of the greatest sagas of all time. And we talked about this in the last, in our kickoff show, but like, this is such an iconic, like if there was a story about the X-Men that a non-comic book reader would be aware of, it's probably this story, between this and Days of Future Past. So like, I feel like that's, yeah, like you're saying, for us, for this book that's included as technically, part 4 of the Dark Phoenix saga, $350 for a 9.8 is very tempting. I would not mind owning that.
JP says worst cover of the Phoenix saga. I mean, shots fired again. And people in the chat, Battle Panda mentioning doesn't necessarily want to be involved in a giveaway or anything. You can prize tag people. So if you want to still have, if you still want to play in the trivia and get some raffle tickets thrown in, you certainly can prize tag other people and send gifts to people if you'd rather. That's fine as well.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let me, and just as a reminder, so last season we gave this away, which is what we're reading now, volume 2. And it was Jackson Roy Kirk who won it, and he actually donated it or gave AOK'd it essentially over to John for the show that John and JP do for comic cores. Yep. So that is certainly an option where you can gift things, as John was saying, or send it somewhere else, wherever you want. But we appreciate everybody hanging out here. We still have a strong 24 people in the chat. Thank you all so much. This is awesome. And so we're kind of covered the numbers here. John, anything else to add to this? There wasn't. I mean, yeah, like you said, a lot of.
No, I think Dan is mentioning they're very somewhat reasonably priced, considering some of these have just been bonkers. We've pointed out some pretty bonkers ones like 107 and some of the other ones from earlier.
129, yeah,
129. So yeah, it is nice to see something that's a little bit more reasonable and still having some of these key qualities. So yeah, great stuff, great slides, great gifts, good work, sir.
Cool. Appreciate it. And thank everybody here that's been hanging out with us. I'll remove this. So we have some trivia, so don't go away. We do have some trivia, and then we'll wrap up here. But so for anyone who doesn't know, so we did change some things, right? So we God, you want to explain that one?
Yeah, I'll happily do it. So the idea is last season we did something with points. This season we're just going straight raffle tickets. We'll give away 3 raffle tickets for the person who gets the first answer, person who gets the second answer correct, and the person who gets the funniest comment or reply. So there'll be 3 raffle tickets for every question, a total of at least 12 raffle tickets given out every night. And then when we get around to the giveaways, we'll either do a digital wheel and randomize that way, or we'll actually just pull names out of a hat. So we're not going to do the whole point thing. You don't have to worry about being the first person to get right or the second person, you'll get the same raffle ticket either way. So we try to give 3 people chances to be successful with every question.
Yeah, and to add to that, so the actual prizes that John and I are going to be doing as the main prizes, there are 2 different ones. John's is going to be a mystery box, right?
Yes.
Focused around X-Men, but also kind of focused around whoever that particular winner is. Maybe some things that he might know that they're missing, or that they're more interested in certain mutants or certain stories. So they're always fun. John put together a great mystery box last time. So
if you didn't see the unboxing on Magic Lasso's channel, you should totally check it out, because I thought he was it was just the reactions I wanted from him, but it was a catered mystery box for him.
Yep. So that's going to be the one half. That's one of the main prizes. And then the other prize is going to be on my side, where I'm going to be supporting a local artist here. Oh, John, I forgot. So I guess I shouldn't say that yet.
So no, but he'll be giving away a piece of original art as like a gift. So there's going to be some, and we, like last, if you watched our finale giveaway, there was a ton of giveaways. A ton of things we gave away to the chat. Chet has offered to give away another slab. So when we get to the finale, there'll be a ton of things to give away. And all you got to do is just at some point get an answer in, and you'll have a raffle ticket in. The boy who had 7 only had 1 point on our raffle giveaway, and he was a winner last time. So it's totally possible to pull that off.
Yep. Perfect. So so let's get into it then. John, you want to start it off with your first question?
Yeah, and I'm going to go right with where you were. We're asking questions about last week's show, and that was our kickoff show. And Justin mentioned giving away a piece of original art, or at least the chance to get a commissioned original piece of art. What is the first name of the artist that Justin mentioned? If you can remember his first name, I'm not asking for perfect spelling, but yeah, if you can remember the artist's first name, and then Justin will show you that piece of art that he purchased for himself. And you can, of course, end up getting something for yourself if you win that prize.
We should clarify, no cutting short his name. We did say it clearly what his name was, and there's technically a shorter version of his name, but we are only taking the real name. It's okay if you misspell it, but what is his first name? And this is the artwork. Let me clarify. This is not the artwork you're going to win, but this is artwork that he has done, and you will get a sample
of his artwork.
Yes, that's the word.
Sample. And I have a piece that he is working on for me as well.
Yeah,
that is freaking stunning.
So this is the Storm piece that I had.
It's hilarious because our pieces will be somewhat similar in personality, but not in era.
Okay. Okay. Oh, maybe
I see the
Mohawk,
correct answer
perhaps.
Twice. So
all right.
Spot me if you want to check.
Yeah, there it is. Bearded Comic Bro. That is correct. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's not. That guy's...
Is it Rob Liefeld? No,
not Rob Liefeld. There's the one.
We got Chet here first is going to be the first one up. So again, we're first place and second place are both getting a ticket, and then also the funniest answer is going to get a ticket as well. So Chet is being marked down, as well as I
got Chet and Azores each got one raffle ticket, and I am leaning towards the Bearded Comic Bro comment, unless you find one of the other ones funnier. But the Bearded Comic Bro one did make me laugh.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan of that too. I'm gonna go with Bearded.
I'm gonna give Brandon for Comics Kings a raffle ticket as well.
Nice.
And I'm just basically keeping a tally at this point, and we know how many raffle tickets everybody gets.
Yep. Hey, I saw we got D Millie in the house. What's up, D Millie?
What's up, D Millie? And yes, JP, you are correct. Yeah, Mohawk Storm. Come on, you know that. You know
that's yeah.
You know where I'm at.
Peach. close, Albert. Very cool. All right, so hey, we got Brother Joe in the house. Station Brother Joe. Thanks for stopping in.
The mayor.
The mayor of Comic Town, as I've been deemed. All right. So next up, I will throw my question out there. My first question also has to do with last week. And I'll just keep this as simple as possible. We asked each other what our favorite mutants were at the time, and so what was my favorite mutant? What was the mutant that I ended up giving, even though there were many that I was like leaning on and having a hard time deciding? There was one definitive
there's so many great ones is the reality. And I think we've constantly gone around and noticed how, at different points in different storylines, like, oh, they did such a great job with Wolverine in this one. They did such a great job with Nightcrawler in this one. Or, you got Lasso shouting out so many great characters as well. But you definitely were definitive on your favorite. And I see 2 correct answers, and I see some funny answers as well.
So let me scroll back here. So I think, and confirm if it's different for you, but the first one I see here is Brandon.
Yes, sir.
And then the second one I see here is Chet.
Yes, sir. And I know which one I think is funniest, but I definitely want you to make sure you pick the one that you think is funniest.
All right, so at a quick glance, I thought JP wrote Chad for a quick second. I'm like, who is Chad? I had to look close, but man, that's close. I mean, I gotta go with JP here. Do you agree?
Chod. Yes, that's. I mean, Diana Ross also very funny. But no, I'm definitely going with
Chances Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. There you go.
Battle says Lord Sith.
Lord Sith. There you go. So,
Brandon says he'll also do one.
Ooh,
do a giveaway.
And Brandon's going to be joining us, I think, for issue 134. So we're going to start with Chet next week, and then Brandon the week after. These guys are some of our heavy hitters. They know they're X-Men for sure.
Nice. Hey, what's going on, Anthony? Good to see you, man.
My other question is about issue 131. We had a lot of exciting things going on there. My question is, we sort of saw the defeat of Emma Frost. And my question is, which 2 mutants were a part of that showdown with Emma Frost? Which 2 mutants were battling against Emma Frost in issue 131?
We need both answers in the same text, please.
Yes, please.
Both answers in the same text.
Angus McSquirter.
Yeah.
No, it was not Angus.
JP, good call with that. Had to go with that after the highlight video. Hope everybody enjoyed that.
Chat jumped, but I did see one correct answer already. So I've got one off the bat. I see the second one. Sorry, it was down a little lower. So the first one I got is Albert Loves Comics.
Let me scroll here. Gene and Storm. Yeah.
So I saw one from Albert, and then Chet following it up by using Phoenix instead of Gene, which works just as well.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Very nice.
Those are the first 2 that I saw.
Those are they check out.
There's some good comedy answers. You are all bringing the comedy tonight. Which 2 mutants defeated Emma Frost?
Hey, what's up, TJ?
I was going to say, I like TJ's a ton. Too. I might actually go with that one. Although, Nigel's Cheech and Chong and Trailblazers Hans and Franz. Man, you guys are throwing back to my 80s, 70s joy here. I would vote TJ, but that's me.
So I'm gonna go with TJ. That was the one that caught my attention there
TJ
the most.
Slaying.
Anthony says Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry. That's a see. Look, you guys all with the good throwbacks. That's a throwback.
Yep.
All right, I'm getting old. My memory is failing since then. Well, that's why all you need to do is throw in something funny.
Yeah,
you get in the running that way.
Yep, there you go. That strategy totally works. All right, so last question here, and then we'll wrap things up. Last issue was called "Run for Your Life." Who was this title referring to? Who was running for their life at the beginning of last issue, issue 131? Name the individual who was running for their life. Now that would have been good too. Bill and Ted.
Raging Cajun, nice. Love Professor X screwing with Mr. Pride. Yeah, that was pretty funny at the end. No one mentioned Xavier and Scott. Oh, wait, that's not surprising because they're worthless. Wow.
The chat just jumps.
I think I see the correct answer.
Oh,
Are we gonna do it to him again? I feel like we have to do it to him.
We have to. We gotta stick to this, man. We can't. I mean, at that point,
so
what are you just gonna write? You just gonna write the
next
first
week,
letter?
2 weeks from now? That's all we're gonna hear about. I'm just saying. But we do know who got it first.
Yes,
and
Magic
his
Lasso.
first raffle ticket for Magic Lasso.
Ryan, nicely done. So we have Ryan as number 1, and then I have Bill Donovan as number 2. B Donovan 913, or Bill, as he refers himself as.
There you go, Bill.
Good stuff. Sorry, chat. That's just technically Kit is its own name, so it's like you know, that could just be a name of something. At that point, you could just be writing the letter K and then argue that you know, like, we just can't give you that, man. Sorry.
Oh, you're gonna hear from my attorney in 2 weeks. He's already got more raffle tickets than anyone. I'm not.
Yeah, right. And he's one that gives something away, so he usually doesn't want to.
What Kirk says, Kit is a car.
I was thinking of Kit from Scout's Honor.
Oh, there you go.
Where my mind went. Yeah.
See, you're too young. Knight Rider is what it is. Knight Industries 2000. Let's see. What was the question again? It was who's. Oh, I do like Azor's comedy. He's got a good one. Oh, Albert's. Yeah, Albert.
Yeah,
Albert might win, not Professor X. But Usain Bolt is a very good answer. Rod says me. I've seen you take your dog for walks. You're a walker. You're not a runner yet. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Albert. For me personally, what do you?
All right, so this is one thing I was going to ask is, can we technically have different answers here? And if so, then we just give 2 different things, right? I mean,
I think the asker of the question breaks the tie. Personally.
Ooh, okay.
So it's your question. You can
ask her the question. Yeah. I'm going to go with Albert.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Albert. Wait, is that what you said too? By the way,
I said Albert too.
You did. Okay,
we agreed.
I'm like arguing you. I'm like, oh no, John, I'm going to oversee your answer.
What you want.
As mayor of this comic town, I say Albert.
We got mayor and kings on this show. That's all we got. Kings outrank. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah. All right, guys, this is great. I think this is a great first episode. Appreciate everybody still seeing some great answers in the chat.
OJ, Forrest Gump.
Appreciate you guys. Jackson Roy after school 3 p.m. he's threatened. Hey now, guys. Hey now.
Justin, you're fired.
Can't fire me, man. Can't fire me. Can't vote me out. All right. So all right, we're wrapping this up. I know we're past an hour here. Appreciate everybody. Still have over 20 people in this chat. Thank you all so much. Make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I did see a couple new faces and a lot of familiar faces as well. So we appreciate everybody. Make sure you're subbed up to John, because while we are taking next week off, we will be back the following Tuesday, 9:00 Eastern, and it'll be over on John's channel. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Follow us over on Instagram. We'll give all the reminders and details over there as well. But we really do appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out with us. And this is just the first of many more for this season 2. So get ready for another epic breakdown for issue 133, as we will have Mr. Chet with us as well. So
on the 12th.
On the 12th, yes, that is the official date, and we will definitely be putting that back out there as well. Season 2 will be bigger than season 1. I hope so, Jackson Roy Kirk. That is the goal for sure. Any final thoughts here, John, before we kind of close it out here?
No, that's it. Thanks everyone for coming back and joining us. We really do appreciate you guys. Make this the best part of the week for sure.
Absolutely. Dan, I see your question here. It's right in the description. John's link to his channel.
Or if you just type John's Comics with Kids, you'll find it. I promise.
It'll come up there too. Yep. Absolutely. Appreciate everybody else hanging out here. What is JP saying? John still has a channel other than on Saturdays.
Other than all the time I spend on your channel.
Yeah. All right, guys, we appreciate you, and make sure you go catch that highlight reel over my Instagram channel or on John's channel, the Kickoff Show, if you missed it. That whole Kickoff Show is a lot of fun, so I do recommend going and check that out, especially if you want to know a little bit more of a background of our tie-ins to X-Men, what we think of it, and there you go. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate you, man. All right, guys, and everybody watching the replay, again, thank you guys so much for taking that time to watch, and until next time, we will talk to you guys later. Peace.